favorite holiday?
I definitely think my favorite holiday, it's such a hard one. I don't want to be typical and say Christmas because obviously Christmas is like a fave for everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and say Thanksgiving because it's a tie ultimately between them both. But Thanksgiving I love so much, especially as I've gotten older. Just the Thanksgiving concept has become so much more true and real. You know what I mean? When you realize, you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, I went through all of this year. We're now in November and I'm here with my family. I'm here with my friends. I made it through. You know what I mean? It really puts more meaning into that Thanksgiving vibe. And so I think, I've really grown to love that holiday the most.
I love that. And same, just the ability to be with our families this year sounds
Yeah.
amazing. Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving food? Like, is there something that you make?
No, my dad, well, I try to cook, girl, but my dad is just like the best. So he always cooks a big old feast. I'm talking very Southern style, soul food, you know what I mean? Like macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, barbecue. I mean, he honestly does not care that it's supposed to be like a specific Thanksgiving meal. We make our own Thanksgiving meal. We don't really usually do the turkey vibe. We usually do like little chicken hens or hens. I forget what they
Oh,
call
like the
it, but
Cornish? Yeah.
yes, the Cornish
Yes.
hens. We do like those little things. But yeah, my dad cooks it up. So I mean, maybe one day I'll be able to take over the title.
I mean, to be fair, eating is just as important. Give me all the carbs. I want that macaroni and cheese and sweet potatoes. All right.
Yes.
Favorite vacation destination?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm actually getting ready to go to check out just forgot the name. Oh, Joshua Tree. So I'm
Oh,
excited to
nice.
check that out because that's like a place I have never been before. But I mean, I think the best vacation moment that I ever had was in Jamaica. I was at this, resort, but we went out and got to see a bit of the city and stuff like that. And it was really nice, but I really got to get more into being a vacation person. I really got to push that. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of us Americans often get caught up in just the work, 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 and we don't have time or we don't feel like we have time. So we don't make time for vacationing. So I'm trying to get better at that.
Yeah, no, girl, you deserve it. You got to do it. Got to find time on that calendar.
Hello, everyone in the chat. It's
Oh,
so good seeing all you guys. I just want to say a quick shout out to you because I see your comments coming in. So I just want to say hey and thanks for joining us.
I know, getting all the love. So, so, so much love. So this is kind of on the same vibe. Favorite dessert?
Ooh, my favorite dessert is gonna probably be banana pudding, honey, because I love the sweetness, the whippedness of the cream, of the little custard, but then I love the crunch of the cookies. You gotta keep the cookies crunchy. I don't like when they get a little bit too soggy. I need the crunch of the cookie.
I agree. That was like a favorite dessert of my mom's. Always had to have those vanilla wafers on top.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Ooh, yes, it's Aristotle, and it is, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And I absolutely love that quote because I was going through a lot. And I feel like we always are going through different moments in time in our life. Nothing is ever going to be always perfect and always this or that. But I was having my first real experience with, depression and anxiety. And I hadn't really I had to go through it to know how to balance and practice and give myself tools to be able to withstand, through the pressures of life. But at that time, it was the first experience of anything like this. And I started to really just look up quotes. They really would give me so much strength simply because it reminded me that other people were experiencing similar things. It made me feel a lot smaller in my, oh my gosh, life is so fatal. And I came across this Aristotle quote that said, we are what we repeatedly do. And it really kind of just struck me like, okay, I am my habits. I can choose who I want to be by the practices I put in place. So I don't have to fall victim to what's happening around me. I can actually put steps forward that help me to live and lead the kind of life that I want to live. So it was like, you can think of it as like, oh, that's that gives you a responsible and accountable feeling. And that can be overwhelming. However, in reality, it really is relieving. And so that's why I love that quote so much.
I love that because also you can choose joy. You can choose to put more fun into your life, right? It's like
Yeah.
what you are prioritizing becomes your priorities. I love that. I love that.
Thanks.
All right. Last but not least, favorite app.
Favorite app? It's definitely Instagram. I'm not gonna lie. I love the gram. I think I like it because it's just so visual. You know what I mean? It feels very intimate in a way that I think is different from any of the other platforms. I think we all like every platform for what it can bring, but for me, I think Instagram is just my girl.
And are you a scroller like at
Oh
nighttime?
man,
Like, yeah.
don't get me on a cooking binge. I'm all about the cooking. Any cooking, 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 cooking. I'm watching people cook night and day.
And that's funny because you're not even like a big cook, but it's just
No,
like
I'm
the
not.
act of watching.
It's like a dream of mine. You know when you have those dreams inside where it's like I always wanted to be a ballerina. You know what I mean? It's like when am I gonna
Yes.
actually try to do it? That's me with cooking. It's like I always wanted to be able to be a chef. You know, but when am I gonna actually try it? So I kind of get my life fulfilled through the Instagram posts.
I love it. And guys, if you have questions for KeKe or myself, feel free to write them in, and we will try and get to them throughout the chat. But all right, let's get into it. To start, I'd kind of just love for you to share, more about like who you are, where you're from, and how did you decide to get into the arts at such an early age?
Man, well, okay, I'm originally from Illinois. I'm a Virgo. Hey. And I'm from a very small suburb, called Robbins. Very small. I mean, they used to nickname it Mudville because we didn't even have sidewalks for a long time. So, that just paints the picture. I'm talking middle of salt of the earth, cornfields. And my parents always talked growing up about how they fell in love and it was through the arts and they did speech together and all these types of things. And so I was like, I heard about it as a kid, so it felt very real and very possible for me. But it wasn't until I was 9 years old that my parents were reading in the newspaper about Lion King auditions, at the Chicago theater. And they asked if I wanted to go down and audition. They were like, it involves singing like you do at church, and then it involves acting, what me and your mother would tell you about. And I'm like, okay, I get to do something that you guys like to do that I never heard of, and I get to sing, which I love to sing. I always sang in church, and my mom was a choir director. So we went down, and I made it down to like the top, 50, whatever it was, but I didn't get it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so sad. But I was also like, I want to do it again. I think I loved the competition aspect of it, but I really loved being able to be of service in a way that I felt I could be. I think we all have gifts and ways that we can add value to any scenario. And I think for me, I always felt entertainment. I would always try to make somebody laugh, try to make somebody smile, or sing a song, make somebody feel something the way that my mother made me feel something when she sang in church. And so for me, that's really where the love came from. And as I grew, after I did that audition, my parents got me an agent in Chicago, and I did my first role in Barbershop 2. And then from there, as crazy as it sounds, my parents kept hearing people encouraging them to, hey, take her to California. They have a thing called pilot season. Maybe she can get a show. You never know what can happen. And my parents said, hey, why not? My mom said she prayed. She prayed. She prayed. She talked to everybody that she knew would tell her no. And somehow they all were saying, yes, we believe in KeKe. Take KeKe. You should go. And she was like, well, this is different. This is not common. So maybe I should go. So we went. We drove 4 days and 3 nights to California. The first week I got like a national Kmart commercial. A couple of weeks later, I ended up getting a cold case episode. And then maybe like a couple months into us being there, I ended up doing a movie with William H. Macy that was a remake of a Jackie Gleason movie, which was a remake of a Charlie Chaplin movie about a mute man that befriends a child and they become really good friends and obviously a parent figure. And so William H. Macy and I did this movie when I was 9 turning 10 in Montreal, Canada. And from there, I ended up getting a SAG nomination for that movie, and really things just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. But my relationship with entertainment has grown to such an awareness of, I just want to bring joy. This is what I know I can do, how big or how small it can be. And getting the opportunity to tell stories that can make people feel things or get relief or just have a moment of happiness or laughter. The same way I like to do on my Instagram with my skits or whatever. That's my way of saying, hey, I see you. We're out here. We're in this together, and this is how I survived this place.
Well, that was an amazing story. It sounds like you have fantastic parents. Also, I will say you are a gift the ability to bring that sort of joy and laughter to people is so evident. You can see it on like the endless comments that are coming in with all the love. So,
Love you
um,
guys.
thank you for that. I will say, when we were kind of chatting at FabFitFun about you, I think we were all incredibly inspired of like just on the evolution of your career and doing it, in such a short time period. You've played so many amazing characters. Do you have any advice for anyone who, maybe wants to go down a similar path, but
Yeah.
they're scared, they don't know how to do it? It's not easy by any means.
It isn't, and there's no wrong or right way to go about it. There was a time where everything was very traditional and it was very cliquish, and you had to know somebody, and still those elements exist, right? But now we're in a world where social media also exists, the internet exists, so you do have platforms and ways to get your voice and your material out there in a way that you've never been able to before. And I think people really should know and appreciate that ability, and that it really does have value. Many of us that came from the traditional world leaned into that, and it really helped us to evolve our careers. So definitely don't be afraid to put your work out there. I think the biggest thing is also asking yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing this for? I think when it comes to a job in entertainment, it's important to ask yourself that question, because if it leads to you just wanting to be famous, then don't put yourself through it because fame is not enough for you to want to withstand this kind of industry. It's truly not enough. You have to love what you do, whether it is, I love singing, I love dancing, I love acting, I love delegating. I think I want to be an AD. I love lights. I think I want to figure out how to be a key grip and figure out lighting, and whatever it is, it's got to come from a true place of love, or else you will not survive it, right? And then I think secondly, it's getting around like-minded people. It's really true. You are who your friends are. That doesn't mean that you got to do everything your friends do, or y'all got to like all the same things, but it's simple things like they're ambitious. Or they have ideas. They are in different circles where I can meet different people, because you want to be able to connect in a way that's going to be around people that's going to help you to expand upon your ideas and expand upon the life you're essentially trying to lead for yourself. It's not like I hang out with tons of actors, but I hang out with tons of people that are producing and that have ideas, that are creative, that encourage me, that don't tell me my ideas are silly when I bring them up. You need to be around people like that, because they're going to encourage you on your journey. And then lastly, is to really be consistent. Create a way, a rhythm for yourself, whether it's every Thursday I'm going to post a video, or every Tuesday I'm going to try and go to an acting class, or every Thursday I'm going to try and put myself in a new experience so I have something to be inspired to write about. Be consistent with whatever it is your goal is, and continue to do the work that's going to allow you to be led to where you're going. Those are just some simple ones that I feel like can be of help. But again, your journey is your journey, and don't be afraid to be writing a new blueprint.
No, I love that. You are speaking the truth. That is what people love. And I will say you talked about it a little bit, but I kind of want to touch on, your sort of social media platform, your community. At FabFitFun, it's really important for us to, create a really sort of safe, supportive place for our members. We have our own community within our sort of FabFitFun world, where people can come in and talk to each other, not just about like the products that they're getting, but also, everything from like relationship advice to, how to ease anxiety, like sharing pictures of their kids and their pets. And I see that sort of, same community spirit within your own platform. And it feels like you have just such a connection with your fans. Is there a post that you kind of can think back to that, really like created that connection or that engagement? Anything come to mind?
Hey, Nora. I would like to say, I think, there have probably been many moments, right? I think, your relationship with people, your relationship with your audience is always created by multiple moments. When we think about what we love about Oprah Winfrey, we think about top 3 episodes, you know what I mean? Where we were like, yo, when she did that on that time, we were just, whoa, I love her. You know what I mean? And I think for me, I would say it's the same, right? It's, a couple of moments, but I think the one that speaks most to me is the one I did last year I posted about my PCOS and struggling with my acne and just with hormone issues and having high levels of testosterone and just trying to figure out what all that means for me as a woman and how to I got hair on my chin and I'm growing a beard and what does that mean for me and my confidence? How do I work through that? What foods can help me? And when I was honest about that, the feedback was very apparent to the community that I created on my social because everybody was sharing at that point. So many people started talking about whether they had PCOS or they dealt with other things. I mean, it was so touching, and I really just saw, wow, these are the people that rock with me. Not everybody that comes to your page or everybody that shares your video is a genuine supporter, but when things like that happen, they really do come out, and I think that was a real time for me to see that.
I love that because, often when we're dealing with embarrassing issues, things that society has deemed not to be appropriate for whatever reason, that's true. It can feel really lonely. It can feel like you're the only one experiencing this issue. And I think just, commend you for your ability to bring that conversation to life and bring people together and open up that dialogue because it's hard and it's scary, even for someone as successful as you. Like, it's not easy to talk about.
And I think what you're saying is so true, which is for me why I did it was yes, as much as it was to share and let people know, hey, I'm human, I go through stuff too. It was also me saying, I gotta say this because I need to take my power back. I'm not gonna let this kill me. Because I before then I was in the house like because it had gotten to such a crazy point. Like I've dealt with it throughout my life, but it was like at this point I was filming a movie, I was stressed out, I was trying to lose weight, I was doing, and then my skin, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And so it was really me, the deep me saying, we're going to take our power back and we're going to say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. And guess what? I'm not ashamed. And so that's really what gave me that strength because I was just like, you know what? When you allow things to sit in the dark, that's when they really just tear you down. But when you bring everything to light, you just bust out with the truth, you're free. That's really true what they say. The truth will set you free. And I was allowing the shame of that and just the upset of that to really just put me in a cloud of darkness. And when I spoke out and I put on my page like that, I was free.
Well, you are, again, getting tons of thank yous for being such a role model, such an example. Also got a slightly different question.
Hey, Carter.
Wanted from watching. What is your sort of, do you have a favorite character that you've ever played over the years?
Oh, man.
Strong women with them. It's just so important. I will say someone else commented that they think that you need to host a daytime talk show. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh. I would absolutely love to. I love talking. I feel like, for this generation, it would be great to hear from myself, but then other voices within our demographic that just can speak to the things that we're curious about, we're not sure about, we're not, 100% knowing of. Like, let's actually talk because we are now getting to that place, really, especially as I'm approaching 30, where, hey, it's time to be a leader. It's time to step up. It's time to be, hey, come on, last of the 90s babies. You know what I mean? Let's get it together. So to think about a talk show or something that can help be a starting point of leading those voices, I'm 100% all in.
All right, people, you heard it here first. I think we have an idea in the works. I'm going to put it out to the universe. I agree. It should happen. All right, I'm going to take us on a selfish path because I'm actually really interested. As many of you guys know, we have an edit sale going on. KeKe was nice enough to pick some of her favorite products in the sale. Do you mind sharing some of those with us?
Yes, I do. I mean, I have a couple of different 5 fun picks. I think when it comes to traveling, I love the LA Los Angeles wireless charging pad. I mean, literally, it is the best thing. I'm always on the road, so to have something like that is awesome, as well as their the Asobi. I think I'm pronouncing it probably wrong. Asobu. Their water bottle. I think it's always good to have one of those with you whenever you can, especially in the times where we've been using plastic for years, and apparently we've discovered that plastic isn't always good. So to know that you have, that product where you can have that water bottle is extremely useful for me as well.
I love that. And I have to comment, you were stunning at the Met Gala. I mean, it was a look so beautiful. Can you give us any of your favorite products that you are into from a beauty perspective?
Yeah, I would say probably the Sienna jumpsuit, the smocked jumpsuit, for my free people. I absolutely love that because I like to be very comfortable, casual, relaxed. And then on my New York tip, I love the the leather patch knit gloves. Because you need some gloves in New York, but you want to be stylish. You know, everybody's always stylish in their weather gear. So it's like, give me some leather gloves.
I love it. And I feel like Fry is like such a good, like American, like
Oh my gosh.
Americana heritage brand. It's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
I also heard that you recently bought a house. Is that true?
That's true. That is
Uh,
true.
Amazing. Congrats. Like, what is your home style vibe? What is that all about?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely a tea person. You guys actually have some really good Golden Rabbit, like a set of 4 adult mugs, so that's very nice. And then also like favor like very like it's like my version of trying to get into the China vibe, like trying to get actual good, nice China because my grandmother had great China, so I'm trying to get my life together and start that tradition. As well as this, what is the name of it? Oh, the unhide. I
Oh,
think
the blanket.
yes, the faux fur blanket, which is awesome because I try to be on point. I don't try to overdo it when it comes to the animal stuff. I am a meat eater, but I try to be balanced with it as much as I can. But so I love that it's faux fur and I get to be in a very warm blanket.
Yes, I'm all about the cozy. I will say the faux fur blanket is especially good as we roll into fall and winter.
Yes.
Still all of them, so I have like hundreds of them around the house, but it's fine. We realize that that's just a thing.
Yeah, I do have as well, but it's better to have more than less.
Exactly. And I mean, look, same sort of tip. You always look gorgeous. What are your beauty secrets? Do you have like a must-have routine that you do every day? Like, what's your go-to?
I think I really try. I mean, I kind of fell off this past month, but I really do try to have a good, consistent like diet. You know what I mean? I try to do my meal preps. There's a really good bent go like snackable lunchbox that you guys have all in one. So it's like it helps me when I go to set, when I'm doing quick jobs and stuff like that. So I really try to do that in terms of the just keeping myself right. And then I love working out. I love doing like freehand stuff like Pilates, but I also love this Maji sports bar that you guys have that, I mean, first of all, it's gold. That's beautiful. So I feel very stylish walking around with it. But it just reminds me, okay, boom, I can just take something that's small and get into working out. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's all about finding your moments, right? Especially when you're someone as busy as you are. Like, you just have to get it in when you can get it in.
No, seriously, you do. And that's why I love FabFitFun, because you put in what you want, what could be good, what's happening this season, what I'm gonna need, what I don't have time to really buy, and then it's just on your doorstep. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man, you're making me blush. You're making me so happy right now. I can't even stand it.
And let's all be honest, we all like to get a gift, even though it's one that we've customized. We all like to get a gift in the mail.
I mean, it's better than getting bills in the mail, for sure. Also, I love my husband, but he doesn't always know exactly what I want. So sometimes it's just better to get the gift for yourself. These things are meaningful. KeKe, I know you are always incredibly busy. You touched on it a little bit, but can you give us any kind of sneak peek on what you're working on right now?
Yes, I'm working on this. Is the first time I've actually ever said this because I wanted to be a big surprise, but I see we got some major supporters in here. I'm getting ready to. I just wrote and directed my first short film ever, which is actually a visual album. But also really a narrative-driven story that I'm very excited about, that's coming out very, very soon. So I'm just wrapping that up. It's so cool to be in the position of being a writer and a director in this scenario, because I'm always just the talent. And it's fun being the talent, but it also is really fun being behind the camera. And as I continue to grow and evolve as a creative, that's a place where I think I'm going to spend a lot more being. So I'm very excited about that. It's called Big Boss. So I'm looking forward to closing that out and getting ready to bring that to you guys. It's like, I can't believe, like, I actually wrote a script, you guys. I actually directed something. I'm getting old.
I mean, you
And
are
then
certainly a big boss, so that is amazing.
thank
Congratulations.
you.
When should people look out for it? Is there like a time that we can?
Definitely 2022.
Okay.
2022. I'm getting it all the editing, the coloring, sound design, all that stuff, which is, again, it's so cool to be in this position of being behind the scenes and getting to all this stuff. So very excited about it. Hey, what's up, Eric? He was a part of it. He also choreographed the whole thing with his father. So shout outs to him. So that's something I'm very excited about. Check out that for 2022. Very excited about the Proud Family. That's also coming out 2022. Very excited for that reboot, and for my character Maya, who, again, I get to play a very strong, boisterous young woman who knows who it is she wants to be. That's always a good time. And then Nope, coming out as well, 2022, the new Jordan Peele film starring myself and Daniel Kaluuya and Stephen Ewan, which this is the longest movie that I've ever filmed. 4 months we were shooting, and very glad to be finished, but also sad because I miss Jordan and all of Monkey Paw Productions. I'm gonna literally have to run over there and just literally bother them for the next few months until the movie is finished. But yeah, so that's coming out 2022 as well, and a bunch of things in the work, but none I would want to get you ready for yet. But your girl is out here putting stuff together, and I'm wearing my producer hat, and I'm feeling really excited wearing that hat.
Amazing. Well, thank you for giving us so much to look forward to. It all sounds amazing. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us. We were so thrilled that you could join us in the sale. You're fabulous. Please join us anytime. We're such huge fans. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful doing this with you guys, and I can't wait to get my next FabFit Fun Box in the mail.
Yes, coming soon. Bye. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah.